insurance and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schwizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. I haven't done the typical intro in a while. Should I do it, Jake?
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta remember. I never wrote it down. I don't know if I remember it. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the Adam Carriker Show. The show is going to give you unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. And when we get our picks right, we're going to spend the whole show talking about that. And when we don't, we'll laugh at ourselves, and it's okay. But what you're going to hear, Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. All right, Dana Holgorsen got some offensive updates today. Some from John Butler as well on the defensive side of the ball. They both have their press conferences. We'll be reacting to those in hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. We got a couple of Matt Rhule clips. Have you heard the Matt Rhule halftime speech versus Akron? Have you heard it, Jake?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, it's definitely fired up. I am a little bit worried because part of it has been described as leaked, and I'm a little bit, there's been a lot of leaky audio footage around here lately. Not lately, but in time, we know that it's been troublesome. But other than that, it's definitely not necessarily what we'd expect from a coach up 33-0.
All right, for those who haven't heard it, we're going to play that clip here real quickly. It's about 2.5 minutes. When does a clip become a cut? About 2 minutes? We're going to play that cut? Is there like a generic rule for that? We're going to play the clip, the cut, the short audio, about 2.5 minutes long. But if you have heard it, go ahead. Let us know your thoughts. Most people loved it, by the way. And maybe we can chat about, I mean, is that what it was labeled as was leaked when people first discovered it?
Well, yeah, it just depends on where you look at it or where you get it from. But yeah, from what I say, it was leaked, and the video was just like behind players. You know, it wasn't necessarily the best video footage. It looked leaked.
Like Antonio Brown walking around the back of the locker room like he did with the Steelers. Didn't he go live on Facebook one time at the end of a Steelers game while guys are getting dressed in the background or something like that? I don't think we've got anything like that going on. Leaked, sometimes leaked makes things more attractive. Just put the L word in there. All right. If you've heard that, I'm going to call it cut because it's a little bit longer. If you've heard that cut, I'm just going to say clip. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and on the text line. If you haven't heard it, we're going to play it. Then you can react. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right. Hour one of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communications services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. That's Hamilton, TEL.com. All right. Oh, man, I just want to say roll that beautiful bean footage. Do you remember those old commercials with, like, the bean commercials with the golden retriever? And, like, the golden retriever's, like, giving away the secrets, leaking the family secrets, so to speak. Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, roll that Matt Rhule clip.
I'm talking about. Maybe I just have a different standard. I don't like them freaking moving the ball. They're dropping back at the end of the half. Like, we're on the side, as me and John are saying, they'll take a knee here. They'll run the ball. They don't fear you. They don't respect you enough yet. And if that sounds like coach speak, then you have the wrong brain. They're dropping back against our starting defense. They're cutting our own line at the end of the half. All you young guys, just go back there and chill. I want my opportunity. Some of you guys will get an opportunity right now. I told you I don't care what the score is. I told you I care what the tape looks like. Did I trip when the ball was fumbled? No, I don't care what happens in the game. I want to see what the next play is. You have one half. Defense, you have one half. If they try to drop back and throw it, and that quarterback's not on the ground, I want new guys in there rushing. I want them hit. I want them never to say our name again. You believe the fact with 43 seconds left, they just gave us the ball back. They went down 33 and they're still dropping back. They had the balls to cut you. I thought you guys get the ball. You put it down and score. You made me put the freaking red and the white in. And you guys get in, you go play. I don't care what the score is. Troy told you shutouts are precious. We almost gave them a shutout. I want them I don't want them ever to say our name again. That's the killer instinct I asked about. Not what does my hair look like? What do I look like in the freaking mirror? I walk in here, guys in the mirror checking themselves out. Got a chance at a shutout. You guys got a chance of freaking hanging a score around here we haven't hung in a long time. We don't work hard enough to go take what we want. Go take what you want. You want to get in the game? DJ, you run your ass off on all those routes all week. Now you got a chance to get in the game, maybe. If your brother and your brothers will put them away. It's about time people say, I don't want to schedule those guys anymore. I don't want to play those guys anymore. And if my standard's too high, then leave. And if you're with me, go out there and do not, I don't want to see a smile. I don't want to see nothing silly. I want to see a bunch of guys locked in that wants to make a team quit. I don't know why he showed you guys Bronxdale at the end of it. You know what he said to that guy after beating out that biker gang? He said, look at me. I did this to you. He wasn't scared to make sure that guy knew who he was. I did this to you. When you're shaking their hand at the end of the game, they better have that look in their eye. You did it to them. It's supposed to be 33-0. It's supposed to be that score. Now, what's the second half supposed to look like? I'll see you guys on the field.
I love that. Everyone that I've talked to loves that. Everyone who's messaged me about it loves that. He talks about guys looking in the mirror. We don't need no cats, no meow. We need a dog. That's what he's saying. He said, we need dogs. If you didn't listen to the show yesterday, we played a clip of the Coastal Carolina coach. So we're going to play pretty much every year on the anniversary. What was it, 2011? I think September 7th, 2011. He gave a post-game press conference speech. Need more dogs. Don't need no cats. Meow. That's what he's saying in his own way. He's saying there's a standard with how you play that has nothing to do with the other team, It has nothing to do with what the scoreboard says. It has everything about your self-expectations and your self-accountability level, and the accountability level that you're going to hold each other to, the coaches are holding you to, that Matt Rhule has, the bar that he has. I talk about consistency a lot because it's insanely hard to do. The longer time goes on, the harder it is to remain consistent. It's not hard to do things in short bursts. If you've got talent, anybody can be good for a while. It's hard to maintain it, it's hard to sustain it, and it's hard to improve upon it, and it's hard to continually do it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. The best way to do that is the standard you have for yourself that has nothing to do with anybody else or anything else. What do you expect from yourself? And that's what he's saying. I mean, at one point in there, he said, if my standard is too high, then get out. Because he wants people who want the same standard and or are willing to strive to reach his standard that he wants for this program. I'll be honest with you. I don't care there was 33-0. Like, he wanted the shutout. He wanted certain things. One of the things he wants, I've talked about this before, sporadically over time, when you look in the eye of an offensive lineman and he didn't want nothing to do with you, you could see it. At the end of the game, when you shake their hands, he wanted that look in their eye. They wanted nothing to do with you. You beat them, you curb stomped them, you mollywopped them, and they knew it. It wasn't a fluke. You did it to them. That's the look he wanted in their eye. He felt disrespected that they were doing certain things before the half, despite the score, because he didn't feel that Akron truly feared them. It should get to a point where people don't want to play us. That's what Rhule said. Where people don't want to schedule us. I went back home after my true freshman year, the year I redshirted, and I helped my former high school coach a semi-pro football team. They went undefeated and won the championship. And then the league was gone the next year. So one of those types of leagues and teams. And I was talking, one of the D linemen he was ginormous. He was huge. And his dad goes, yeah, he played for the University of Washington. Now, you got to keep in mind, this would have been like 02, 03. He played for University of Washington 94 through 97. I was like, oh, so he played Nebraska. The dad's eyes got huge. And I just casually asked the kid about it. I don't remember his name, too long ago. He was bigger than me. Significantly weighed more than me. When I asked him about it, his eyes got ginormous. Just like if somebody ever asked him, do you want to play Nebraska again? He would have absolutely ran the other direction. That's what Matt Rhule is striving for. Beat teams the way they should be beat. It doesn't matter what the score is, your attitude, your effort, your self-expectation and accountability level stays the same. To the point where nobody wants to do anything with you, schedule you, face you, or have anything to do with you unless they just absolutely have no choice. That's one of the ways you find consistency. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. It's about what you're doing individually and collectively as a team. Like, he is legit mad in that clip. There are times when he's at a press conference and I'm like, I'm not saying he's being disingenuous, but there's a little bit of, I'm going to go up there and say this, and there's a reason I'm going to say it, rather than just in the spur of the moment. And we all do things like that. This was legit. I'm mad. I'm not happy right now. This was in the spur of the moment. I'm pissed. This is not good enough. 33-0 versus Akron is not what we're striving for. Fear, intimidation, they want nothing to do with you. They had a chance at a field goal at the end he didn't feel they should have had a chance at. I love the part where he's like, if their quarterback's not on the ground, I want new guys rushing. That's a heck of a standard that I can relate to and I like. I loved everything about it. And my favorite part of it was it felt 100% real, authentic, and genuine to me. Like, in the moment, this is not good enough. This is not our standard. I'm pissed. If you're not on board, get out. He wasn't challenging people to leave. He's really saying, get on board. Or get off the train, or however you want to phrase it. My favorite part was it was real, and I loved it. Jake, your thoughts, text line, what do they think?
Well, the text line's absolutely fired up. Everybody wants to run through a wall. Augie says, sounds like if we die, we die. So got a good speech to get everybody fired up.
So can I hop in for a second? You notice I've never brought up the if we die, we die speech. And I know he doesn't mean like if we die, we die. But that was something that was fired, like got people fired up and got people into it. For me, I was like, it was the exact wordage. I was like, if we die, we die. Like nobody's going to die. Okay. That's why this landed a little bit more with me. Not that didn't land, but this landed more with me. Just real, authentic, in the moment. Nothing about it you could try to poke a hole through, even if you wanted to. So if the if we die, we die thing, I got it. I never got as fired up about it for whatever reason, but this may be my favorite thing I've heard from Matt Rhule since he got here. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a great speech, obviously, and it gets the team fired up. And that's it. You don't beat Akron 68-0 without that sort of and that level of care factor and just motivation from the coaches here. I was kind of saying it all week. It's a 34.5 point spread. We kind of knew outside of absolute disaster, Nebraska was going to win that game. It was going to be kind of embarrassing if it was close. And so it wasn't really about beating Akron. It was about getting better. And I kept saying that last week. And so many times when you get up 33-0, all right, let's mail it in, put the backups in, run the ball, maybe score 14 points in the second half. But we've got the win. We don't necessarily need to do anything more than that. That second half, this game altogether, remember that second half, they scored more than they did in the first half. So
I didn't even think about that.
So that's part of it.
That's a great point.
And then obviously didn't give up any more points, but it's going to be the same thing against Houston Christian this week. This is not a game about winning or losing. This is a game about getting better. And you have that opportunity, and you only have so many opportunities throughout a season. You know, I'm very interested to see what they look like this week because they had such great depth, and that was a big part of it too. Was different guys would come in, and you wouldn't lose a beat or wouldn't lose much of a beat anyway. And Nebraska was able to just kind of keep the foot on the gas, keep the foot on the throat, and that's what the old powerhouse Husker teams did. Again, that's what we see a lot of different teams at the top do, but it's tough to do even that. Look at Georgia; they beat Austin Peay 28-6. It's not a given. So you have to go out there and do it. You need the motivation behind it. And Nebraska, as a program, is far away from any sort of lackadaisical halves at all. You only get 24 of them in a regular season. You got to make the most of them as you develop your program. And so that's what I kind of saw there. That halftime speech, that second half, that was about developing the program.
Developing the program, setting a level of expectation. This is how we play no matter what. The backup scored more than the starters. After you pointed that out, we scored more in the second half than the first half. It was about shut up about explosive plays. That's not what he said. That's my words. We are explosive. You guys are explosive. Go be explosive. Expect to be explosive. And don't stop being explosive no matter what. It was a message to the fan base. It was a message to the team. It was a message to the coaches. This is what we do. This is who we are, regardless of who's over there or what that thing with all the numbers on it says. And I love that. It's interesting. Not many people, I'll bring it up briefly. And I've always had the same response ever since I was a kid. And Nebraska would just run teams off the field. Not many people have brought up running up the score or anything like that. I think most people in Nebraska land are just excited at what happened. Okay. For me, when people have brought up running up the score in the past, this doesn't have to take long. I've always been like, well, I need to do what's best for if I'm the coach, I need to do what's best for my team. So what's best for my team if it's 42-0? What's best for my team is not to run the ball, run the clock out. No, what's best for my team at that point, take the starters out, put the twos in. Let's run our offense and get better. All right, it's 56-0. Put the threes in, run our offense, get better. At a certain point, if you can't stop guys who were in high school a year ago or are third or second on the depth chart, I'm not going to hurt my team for your feelings. Now, if I leave my starters in and I continue to do it, that's running up the score. And frankly, it's not smart. You're not creating depth. You're not getting experience, and you're putting your starters at risk of injury. But we played over 100 players in that game. If we're talking over 100 players are in and we're doing what we do so we can get better and have a chance to develop and you can't stop it, I've got no issue with that whatsoever. Nobody's really brought that up, but just I got like one or two questions casually from people. Oh, what'd you think? I was like, got to be honest, it didn't even occur to me. But this is how I felt ever since I was 10. We got to get better, and if you can't stop guys, like I said, who were in high school a year ago, because we're doing what we do and we're trying to get them better, that's on you. Anything else from the text line? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, people are just pretty, like I said, pretty excited. Big Daddy Travis says, I want to hear the Michigan pregame speech. Cherry Bomb says, everything Matt said needed to be said. So, yeah, a lot of people are still just, after you listen to that, as you can tell, a lot of people want to run through a wall.
Like I said, it just feels, I mean, it may have been leaked. There's a couple things that are said in there that I wouldn't have anticipated somebody just putting out. But you never know. It may have been leaked. It may not have been leaked. I don't think in any way, shape, or form it's done anything but bring positivity and excitement to the program and the season going forward. So I find nothing but positives out of it. It's interesting. Just briefly taking a random sidebar on leaks. Years ago, the whole leak Bo Pelini thing after the Ohio State comeback, largest comeback in school history. Fans were leaving. All right, Nebraska comes back and wins. And Pelini's mad afterwards. That gets leaked. We'll spend like 1 minute on this because this is not the same thing. But the L word got brought up briefly, and we've never talked about it on this show. What was your reaction quickly? Because mine was, I was in D.C. And I remember that's one of the first times, I think it was the first time I ever talked Nebraska football. Because up until then, it was Redskins and WWE on my Fourth and Pain show. And that was the first time I ever actually said something about Nebraska. And I remember Chuck Carroll, who was running the website, goes, our website just crashed with the amount of people who have visited the website. And my response was simple. You know, what Bo said is what Bo said. I was more concerned that it got out because the locker room and coaches' rooms are supposed to be places of privacy. This is obviously a very, very different type deal. Not the same thing. Again, I found nothing but positivity out of this. But I don't know, we've never briefly chatted about this, so what's your 30-second reaction to that, or what was it at the time?
I'm trying to think of the timeline here. Was that like the Ohio State, but it got leaked after the UCLA loss, so it was like,
I don't remember all that.
I believe that was the case.
That could be a case.
So I think it was like held on to until it would be a time to maybe hurt the program or whatever. But
so the intent behind it was different than this. The intent behind this was obviously positivity.
Yeah,
so intent matters. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah. And I wasn't happy about it. I mean, I was working at the ticket at the time, Adrian Fiala. I remember that conversation because I was kind of pretty emotional, pretty upset about, saying that. And I still, to this day, think it's a bit silly when there was I think at the time there's 90,000 fans capacity, maybe 10,000 left. There's still 80,000 fans, whatever it is. Maybe 15,000 left. How many stadiums around the country have 75,000 fans still waiting there, much less in a game where you're losing by that margin? Now they did come back; they did win that game. I get it. And into your point, over time it became more of that was that was more of a leaking problem than what Bo Pelini said. But I've always been amazed by that because Bo Pelini said, "Bleep the Fairweather fans," right? Direct, the fan base of Nebraska heard that. Everybody's upset. Tom Osborne comes out and says, yeah, we knew it. The next week they have a game against a lower level opponent or whatever. There's a kid with a sign, so we support Bo Pelini. It was the wildest experience. As long as Tom Osborne is okay with it as a fan base, we just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. To me, intent. The intent behind this was obviously positivity, excitement. And I think it's galvanized the fans even more. I think the other thing, something tells me this was put out purposely because the intent was for positivity, and that's been the obvious feedback. I think it was also a way of sending a message. Like, this is who your coach is. This is what he's about. This is the level of standard of play that he's holding your team to, that you're rooting for and you've been lifelong fans of. And it's also like probably reinforcing to the players, like, hey, I said it to you. Now everybody's heard it. You know what I mean? So to me, coming out, if people want to talk preseason college football playoff and this and that, I'm like, oh, okay. I'd be a little bit more cautious there because you're setting the expectations based on a finished product. This is setting the expectations based on how you approach things, attitude, effort, level of play, physicality, toughness, 4 full quarters. Those are things you can control. Control what you can control is a huge thing. And that's setting a level of expectations on the things you can control. And that's one of the other reasons I love this particular thing so much more. Hey, I don't care if this was leaked or not. There's more stuff like this out there. Let's get to it. I want to hear more of this stuff. Anything else from the text line before we go to break here?
Just like Jerry Mom was kind of say what you're kind of saying. Bo's deal was to harm and get rid of Bo. And then Big Daddy Travis chimes in. I think it was Compton that recorded it and then asked Rhule to post it, is what he said. It did, I mean, Will at least tweet it out, so I'm not sure.
Well, I know. Will, that's actually the where I got it and sent it to you from was from Will's Twitter account.
Yeah,
so we could play it. Anyway, whether it's leaked or not, honestly, it's great. Something tells me it was supposed to be put out. Maybe the L word was associated with it to make it more catchy or whatever. But the intent was positivity. The intent was galvanization of a fan base, a team, around a coach, around a program, and around the direction that they're heading. And that I freaking love. So, any final thoughts before we hit the break?
Well, yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, Nebraska. So, and Matt Rhule, I mean, podcasts and weekly ESPN shows and all that. I mean, they're all about getting more exposure to the program. So they might invite some leaked audio a little bit more than they would at one point in time, which is crazy again, because you remember Rhule even going in the last year's Colorado game. There was kind of that during the Chase and 3 documentary or whatever. It was, there was a part of it that says, we don't want cameras around and all that sort of stuff. And now it's just the complete opposite.
That's an interesting point because, I mean, since day one, Deion has welcomed it at Colorado. They've been relatively quiet with that this year. Of course, you don't have Shadur and Travis to follow around. And obviously you can always follow Deion around. He's a celebrity amongst celebrities. But they've kind of gone one direction from where they started. We've kind of gone the opposite direction from where Rhule started. I almost wonder if Deion's like, maybe that was a bit much and it hurt the program. I know that doesn't seem to be Deion's style or way of thinking. Maybe people just aren't as interested with Shadur and Travis gone. That's what my gut tells me this year. And Rhule's like, you know what? I think it's connected to how he's trying to recruit. He clearly doesn't care about where you're geographically located as a recruit anymore. And that's fine. But if you're going to try to reach the best of the best across the nation, you got to give them a reason, with all due respect to the place that I love, to reciprocate attention back to you before you can get them to actually engage and then try to let them know how great Nebraska is. Because, like I said before, when Saban would walk into a room or certain coaches walk into a room, there's like, I know that guy. I'm going to pay attention to that guy. Right now, Nebraska hasn't quite earned that right, okay? No, we haven't had that right for a while, unfortunately. So what you can do while you're in the process of winning games and earning that right on the field is you can have a brand and a name and a face, which is Matt Rhule and his Nebraska symbol, which I love, by the way, once he explained it, the hand gesture he does in every picture. That's something that recruits are going to recognize. And then when Rhule walks in or calls them to speak with them, they're going to be much more engaged. When you have a phone call with somebody and they're like, yeah, thanks, have a great day. They didn't care. When they're like, oh, how you doing, coach? Good to hear from you. Yeah. That's the response you want. You're not going to initially get that right now based off results on the field for Nebraska. We're going to get to the point, I believe, where we earn that, and then recruits will do it based off wins and losses. Right now, it's, hey, I saw you on Pat McAfee's show. Hey, I saw this or that. Hey, how's it going, coach? It's good to chat with you. Tell me about what you're doing with the program now. And this is why I may or may not be interested. And I think it's an unusual, unorthodox, and if you're Nebraska and you're going to recruit the way they are now, necessary way of approaching it. And I've never had an issue with it. Rhule came out and said, it's not about me. It's not about getting my face out there. It's not about me being in the limelight. If it was, I'd feel differently. I've never thought that. It's about how they want to recruit and how do you get those guys' attention. And that makes sense to me. And stuff like this, that's going to catch people's attention. All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in season? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, Always honest answers.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends September 12th.
See Home Club for details.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. Jake, before we move on, anything else from the text line? So we had a conversation during the break with someone, and they asked me, apparently they didn't listen to our first segment, but we talked about it the whole first, but I truly love that speech. But one of the things was, you think about Osborne was always so quiet. Do you think you could be a little bit more quiet and soft-spoken and galvanize the younger football players of today like he obviously did in the 90s? Or is it a little bit different where a guy like Matt Rhule, maybe that's a little bit more what's necessary nowadays? What are your thoughts on that, Jake?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, you obviously kind of try to think about, some of the guys that are at the top of the game now. It seems to be more of, the kind of that fiery, the Kirby Smarts, so even the Dabo Sweeneys and Ryan Dace can kind of get after it. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not going to doubt Tom Osborne can get it done.
Yeah. That's not what I was saying, by the way.
Right. So, I mean, I think it could be done. I think there are coaches that could go that route. And of course, it's just kind of different. It's one of those deals with, Osborne might not have used the same language, but when he used language that was not, dadgum or something like that, you knew it was serious. So, I mean, I think it could work, but it's interesting with, especially, kind of working with today's people. I mean, the younger generation or the current generation, you just have different conversations than what you did with coaches back in the day. And it's all about adjusting. The best coaches need to adjust through the decades and different things that you go through. So, I mean, it is part of it, but I don't know. I think that would be interesting. You might have to, I think you could have a soft-spoken coach, but you might have to have somebody on staff or the captains that are particularly riled up.
Well, somebody's got to lead them, whether it's the coach or the captains or whatever the case may be. You talk about adapting. You go back and you look at Osborne's offenses in the 70s. It was different than the 80s and drastically different in the 90s. Like, he evolved over time. The defense, as we know, went to the 4-3, the more aggressive attacking style was something they did as well. So he definitely evolved, learned, grew, developed, dare I say, as a coach, to an 5-time national championship coach overall, 3 times as a head coach, 2 times as an OC under Bob Devaney. I coached a team recently. Team did very good. I had a lot of success, did very, very good. And it's funny because I told them umpteen times, I don't care what the score is. I don't care. And honestly, they were undefeated up until the last game. We played another team out of Omaha that was undefeated. So it was the two lone undefeated teams in the state. And the games that I got on them the hardest were actually some of the games where it was lopsided at halftime in our favor, but the score, it doesn't define us, but it's like a measuring stick. I could tell we didn't maintain that in the second half. And those were the games I would get on them the hardest relative to their age and what's appropriate. The game I told them I was the most proud of afterwards was the game that we played that was the best the entire season and the one we lost to the other undefeated team out of Omaha. They were down by double digits to a team who's played a lot more and a lot more together. And I was like, this might get ugly. I don't know how we're going to respond. And my good Lord, they fought all the way back. They tied it with about 5 minutes to go. And I was like, we got them. We didn't. They came back and they ended up edging us out by like 2 or 3 points. At the end of the game, there was a lot of emotions, a lot of tears. And that was the moment when I told him, I'm the most proud of you I've been the entire season, because it's about a level of expectation and a level of play and accountability, not what the scoreboard says. Now, if you're Matt Rhule, you're going to maintain your job, be retained, get raised, or get fired based on the scoreboard. But when you're coaching, you approach it differently, a little bit differently than that. And frankly, the scoreboard will be in your favor way more often if you approach it that way rather than focusing on wins and losses. Was there anything else from the text line before we move on?
Yeah, there's a kind of something interesting here. Corey says, I think we are seeing in comparison to Dion is the product of a match versus a bonfire. Rhule has been fueling the fire internally while Dion lit the match and thought it was already on fire, and that doesn't last. But we'll see. Colorado's not, I mean, they lost one game so far.
Dude, I think that's a great analogy. Like Dion lit the bonfire day one. Rhule kind of started the match, had it warm, and has kind of let it grow. I think part of that is so much that Rhule has looked around and said, I need to do this different. I need to do that different. We need to evolve and grow in this department. And I think part of that was we need to take advantage of some of the things that we have, be ahead of the curve in some of the things that we have. And so I think that's exactly what he's doing. And I think that's why he's opened up when it comes to, shall we say, online access or things that are being put out. And he's using it to his advantage. Unlike, what we talked about earlier with Bo and the leakage years ago, the intent behind that was much, much different. And it had an opposite effect. Imagine if Osborne hadn't said, hey, I'm okay with this. What would have happened then? So to me, he's saying, let's take this, let's use it to our advantage, and that'll help the fire grow organically at an appropriate rate and in our favor, which is a smart thing to do. Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, just to back Dion a little bit. Also,
Dion.
Well, you might light up. You might be able to, light that fire pretty quickly if you get Travis Hunter and future Heisman Trophy winner. Shedeur coming in. I mean, I don't think Nebraska would turn that down.
If you're going to use logic, I guess. Don't forget, Dion was my favorite NFL player growing up, so I've actually always been a fan of Dion. Where was I? I was at Shields yesterday. I saw the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Burnt orange Texas socks. And then, heaven forbid, one row up, gold and black, is that what their colors are? Don't care, Iowa socks. Right next to him was black and gold Colorado socks. Like right next to him. Just an abomination of mankind in this little sock row right here. And then my kids were like, hey, why are the Alabama socks brown? Because they're the Crimson Tide Crimson. I looked at them. They were straight brown.
Huh.
I said a line that my wife would not approve of. You want to hear what I said?
Yeah.
I said it's because they're playing like crap. All right. Well, that segment went by quickly. I want to react a little bit to the AP Top 25. Because if you look at it right now, three of the top 4 teams in the country are Big Ten teams. And the Big Ten has what, 4 teams in the Big Ten, top 10 as a whole, which is more than the SEC. The ACC's actually got 2. Notre Dame is in there as well. So I want to give some reaction. And then, was it NCAA, FNA, like Football Nation 24/7 has Nebraska in the top 25. I don't really want to see Nebraska ranked yet. But some people are starting to look at Nebraska in that kind of ilk. I actually saw, I think I talked about it last week on Friday. I saw something somewhere where Nebraska was actually 1 spot ahead of Alabama in this particular rankings, which I didn't think we'd see for a long time. Let's chat about some of that when we come back. And then hour two, some offensive updates per Dana Holgorsen and maybe a couple defensive ones per John Butler as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends September 12th.
See Home Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through September 9th are 15% off produce, $1 off all drinks, and 8-ounce grass-fed, grass-finished flat iron steaks for $12.99 each. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms early this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day. The high around 83. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds. The low around 62. Then tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds. An afternoon high at 85. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake, do we need to change the time of this show? Are we getting comments about that? What are they saying out there?
There was that one comment here from Cody from Broken Bow says, Adam, I need your show to move times. It's my favorite segment, but the busiest part of my day, so I miss most of the show. Then try to watch it on YouTube at home with a toddler isn't the best. GBR, throw the bones.
First of all, GBR Throw the Bones, love it. So basically, he wants to watch a toddler, and then he wants to watch two more toddlers, you and me, three at once. I appreciate you tuning in. Broken Bow, that's a ways away, man. Yeah. Shout out. All right, all complaints and unhappy letters can be sent to DP. Email address to be provided by Jake Bakoven. Until then, I don't think we'll be moving the show time. All right, anything else? Or we got AP poll reaction?
No, but I'm glad he shouted out YouTube. YouTube, Facebook, yes. Twitter, Twitch, Allo. We got plenty of ways to watch if you need to.
All over the frickin' place. All right, let's see. Number one team in the land, AP poll, Ohio State. Any issues?
No.
All right, 2, Penn State. Any issues?
No.
I trust their offensive line. They may win the Joe Moorhead Award this year for the best offensive line in the country. They probably have the best 1-2 punch backfield. Katron Allen, Nate Singleton in the entire country. One of the most experienced quarterbacks, if not the most experienced quarterback, in Drew Aller. The question is those wide receivers. They have beaten teams appropriately so far this year. They have not faced anyone of any real caliber, but they haven't blown the doors off the joint outside of defensive scores, special team scores, and running the ball. In other words, everything that I trust looks good. The one thing I'm like, how's your pass game? How are those new wide receivers? Because that room has been well below average the past couple years, and it hasn't shown anything yet. But I have them in the I actually have them winning the national championship. So I'm going to stick with that for now. But LSU at number 3.
Good quality of victory early on.
Yeah, Saturday was a little rough. Was it 23-7 or something like that? Wasn't a ginormous opponent. They got Florida coming in. So maybe a little bit of a sandwich game. You got Clemson, sandwich, Florida. We'll give them the out on that. Oregon. All right. They killed whatever's left of Mike Gundy in Oklahoma State football. That score was about a zillion to negative a zillion. They're at number 4. They haven't really done much as far as playing a quality opponent so far. Miami at 5. Georgia at 6. Texas at 7. Should Texas be at 7? Or is that just purely preseason ranking bias?
Well, I mean, they bounced back pretty well, too.
Did you watch the game?
Well, 38-7. I didn't watch the game.
I mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish, and then I'll file my complaints verbally when you're done. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I can get it. I can get behind, punishing these teams a little bit more. But again, I think the thought process behind the polls, behind the modern era, is if you schedule these top 25 teams out of the gate and you lose by 7, you're not going to be punished as much as maybe you would have previously.
That's a fair point, and I think I pointed it out. They were 4th and goal from about the half-yard line away from tying that game. By the way, did you see the picture of the Harburg tush push where we didn't get in versus Akron? You know they had like 9 D linemen with their heads way inside the neutral zone. Did you see that picture?
I didn't see that.
Oh, my goodness. How'd they get away with that? Either that or that picture's seriously altered. Because it's bad. That picture had to be altered. There's no way they actually got away with that. All right, Notre Dame at 8. I think my thing with Texas, a team I have playing in the national championship, not by choice, but because I try to be unbiased and somewhat professional here, on occasion, they really didn't look good versus San Jose. There is something missing in their passing game, and it's not just Arch Manning. Their wide receivers are not anywhere near. They're big. They're not anywhere near as explosive as they were a year ago. So Arch is young. Preseason expectations were a little overly high for him. Not his fault. Again, I don't put that on him. He's done nothing to contribute to that other than just show up with a last name and go to practice and be mild-mannered, quiet, and humble. He hasn't played quite up to expectations, whoever you want to blame that on. But I look at the wide receiver. There was some busting coverage where guys were just wide open, and then there was special teams and defense. They ran the ball pretty well. The passing game is, I wouldn't even call it average right now for Texas. So that's a concern if you're a fan of Texas. See how I stuck with Texas and not gag me? I'm trying to progress as a human being here. Notre Dame at 8. Illinois at 9. Florida State at 10. All right, South Carolina at 11. They have maybe the best quarterback in America as far as what people thought coming in, along with like Arch Manning and DJ Lagway. If you're a Nebraska fan, you're going to throw Riola in the conversation. Or if you're a Penn State fan. But Lenore Sellers, that offense has been a little sluggish so far this year. He was out of spring ball. He was injured half of fall camp as well, their quarterback. So we'll see how that progresses. But they've kind of, I want to say they squeaked by Va-Tech. They ended up winning by like 17, but it was within a touchdown until halfway through the fourth quarter. And they're kind of relying on defense and special teams. It was ironic. I felt like they beat Virginia Tech using Beamer ball, if you watch that game just a little bit. All right, Clemson at 12. I'm starting to get nervous about Clemson because I had them almost in the national championship game. LSU, no shame in losing at home to them, but they were down 16-0 at halftime to Troy this past Saturday. Did you see that?
Yeah. And that makes you kind of wonder about the LSU ranking all the way to number 3, too.
16-0. Like, they came back and won. Like, I've said this is kind of Dabo's last year unless he goes into the portal and does an entire overhaul this offseason, because he's not done much through the portal. At least he's done something, but not much. And their last 3 recruiting classes out of high school have barely been in the top 30. This is kind of the accumulation of what I think is his last year, at least for a while, unless some drastic changes are made, of making a run at things. And they haven't looked great so far this year. Oklahoma, I mean, tough game versus Michigan. Michigan's going to come in and play with pride. I think Oklahoma's pretty good this year. Can they survive an insane schedule? Iowa State at 14, Tennessee at 15. I didn't think Tennessee would be that good. Joey Aguilar has outplayed Nico Iamaleava, and it ain't even close. Tennessee saved about, I don't know how much Joey's getting paid. I'm just going to guess he's getting paid $1 million. That's just a number out of thin air. They saved about $3 million and significantly upgraded at quarterback, and maybe better for the quarterback swap that they made. Joey Aguilar from UCLA to them, Nico Iamaleava from Tennessee out to UCLA. That's amazing. They've looked really good so far this year. A&M's going to play Notre Dame. We'll learn more about A&M and Notre Dame this weekend. I'm going to stop at number 20. 17 is Ole Miss. I think they're good. Not as good as last year. South Florida. They're the only team in the country with 2 ranked wins so far. Destroyed Boise. Went into Florida and beat Florida. They got Miami this weekend. What do you think the spread on that game is, by the way? No, don't look. I saw your eyes dart.
I know it's on the CW network, which I think they would redo if they knew that South Florida is going to be as good. What about 8.5 Miami?
17.
17.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Disrespectful.
Ow. Couldn't have said it better. Alabama at 19. Utah, who's looked really good, undefeated 2-0 at 20. I don't know how Alabama's ahead of them other than brand recognition. Hey, there's Texas Tech, your future Big 12 champs at 21. I said I was going to stop at 20, but I looked at 21. Oh, 22 is the fighting Kurt Signettis. Okay, we're just going to finish this because at number 3 is our boys in a couple of weeks, Michigan. 24 is Auburn. 25 is Missouri. The team I predicted to beat Kansas. Not Jake.
That's right.
All right. A lot of Big Ten. 3 of the top 4 teams are Big Ten. 4 of the top 10 teams are Big Ten. All right, you have got Miami and Florida State. I was wrong. 2 out of the ACC. I forgot Clemson fell out of the top 10. Notre Dame. All right. The SEC, who they got? LSU, Georgia, Texas. So they got 3. So the Big Ten has the most in the top 4, top 5, and top 10. We'll see how that unfolds and how that plays out this year. You got any serious issues with the AP poll so far? The only thing I have an issue with is some of the preseason rankings are trumping what we are starting to see on the field. In particular, when you look at Utah versus Bama, South Florida, how in the world are they at 18? Tennessee looks really, really good. I think they should be higher, probably ahead of South Carolina. Texas at Notre Dame, you make a fair point about scheduling tough teams, playing close games, and they shouldn't be dramatically punished. Texas really struggled this past Saturday as well versus San Jose. So we'll see how that all unfolds. What say you, Jake?
Yeah, it's interesting. And then Arizona State just outside the top 25. Again, that was the one that I think is kind of interesting because I think I said it the other day, but Alabama didn't get as punished for their loss to a worse record team from the previous year. Arizona State does, but they're at 26, so they're knocking on the door. Same type of deal, brand recognition.
Yeah, the Florida State, the quality of football they played last year was just non-existent on the 0 to 10 meters, about a -4. But the brand recognition on a 0 to 10 meters, about a 9. So, and Florida State seems to be like a really legit good team. Would they score over 70 this past week? Like, they look like they are back, and they did it quickly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hour 2, we'll react to Dana Holgorsen's updates on the offense. We looked at the depth chart. Couple of noticeable changes we should chat about, and other Nebraska football updates as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Starter Heyman Jewelers is celebrating 120 years as Lincoln's top choice for fine jewelry. Join us for our anniversary sale going on now through September 14th. Enjoy an exclusive 20 to 75% savings on dazzling diamond jewelry, exquisite rings, and luxury watches. This once-a-year event is our way of saying thank you to a community that has supported us over a century. Come enjoy our lowest prices of the year and celebrate this milestone with us now through September 14th at Starter Heyman Jewelers.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Shiel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, it's the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime. The lunch hour of the Adam Carriker Show on The Ticket is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue, now with 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Trailer burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. All right, additional note, we're going to continue to have 1 monthly remote at Mulberry Barbecue South location. And our next one is in the works as we speak. Stay tuned for that. All right, we'll get to Dana Holgorsen's offensive updates here shortly. Well, here's a couple of them, actually. I'm staring at the new depth chart for this week. Left tackle, there are 0 ors. It used to be Turner Corcoran Gunnar Gatula, or Turner Corcoran or Elijah Pritchett. Now it just says Gunnar Gatula. Then it just says Turner Corcoran. Then it just says Elijah Pritchett. We officially have a starting left tackle, and his name is Gunnar Gatula. A backup, Turner Corcoran, and 3rd string is Elijah Pritchett. Reaction and thoughts. Text line, let us know. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
I feel like we're going to get some good news, bad news, Bach right here. So good news, bad news, Bach. What is your reaction to this?
Well, obviously, and Matt Rhule said it this offseason too, that last year one of their highest NIL earners. Presumably, they're on the offensive line. Didn't get as much playing time as they wanted to, or originally maybe had planned. But that's football. You bring these guys in, you compete, you try to see where they are. Maybe on paper this makes sense in the offseason, but once you get to the field, a guy rises up or whatever it might be. So I mean, it is what it is. We saw Pritchett kind of have a few tough moments in week 1. Saw him, kind of being rotated in week 2, like many of the other positions. So not much to read in between there. Gunnar Gatula, for what it's worth, that first touchdown run for Emmett Johnson, beat his guy down, got to the second level, threw that guy down, and Emmett Johnson was off to the races. So Gatula's, it's definitely nothing negative about Gatula. And then the other thing is, I again try to tell people, I know the expectation was a first-round draft pick. Next year, if you still kind of look at it, the other side, Teddy Prohaska's a senior. Elijah Pritchett sure could help this team out, maybe next year. Clearly has to kind of work some things out, maybe later in the season. I mean, you could get to a point where, what? This particular pass rush, we just need more athleticism out there. Let's see if Pritchett can get it done. So there might be some time for him still to fight up and get back into that race. Clearly, he wasn't too far 2 weeks ago, but as of right now, I think what everybody expected or wanted was at least some continuity along that front line. And I think that's best for business. It's best for the team moving forward. And so they settled on a guy, and it might not be the guy that gets paid the most, but it's the guy that they feel is playing the best.
It's what's best for business. I hear you, Vince and Trips and Stephanie. I hear you. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Gunnar Gatula. He clearly went out and earned. And to your point, watch the film of Akron. He does some people dirty, and in the line of work that an offensive lineman is doing, when you say you've done somebody dirty, that means you've done a good job. So shout out to Gunnar Gatula for earning the starting spot at left tackle. Also, I mean, shout out to all the guys that have been starting as well in the interior, but I also want to give a shout out to guys like Turner Corcoran and Teddy Prohaska, guys who battled multiple serious knee injuries. That is hard to do at any size, let alone when you're talking about guys that are 6'6", 310 in Turner Corcoran, and Teddy Prohaska 6'10", 320. And he's had 3 major knee injuries, and he's come back and he's earned that right tackle spot. So shout out to him. These are 2 guys who could have gone elsewhere. These are 2 guys who probably could have caused all sorts of problems because they've started and been a part of this program for years, both of them. No. Didn't say a word, showed up, grinded, brought their lunch pail to work every day, and earned their spots. So shout out to both of them. When it comes to Pritchett, hey, man, there's a lot of time. The ceiling is high. Unfortunately, if you're third string and you were projected first-round draft pick last spring, the floor is also low, but the ceiling is high. You start to put things together. Sometimes you connect a couple of dots, and the next dot comes, and it comes quickly, and all of a sudden things start to go in the right direction. The ceiling is still really high. There's still a lot of time, even though we are going into the 3rd game of the season. But like you said, at some point, he could potentially contribute and help out this Nebraska team. Just got to get going in the right direction. All right, let's see what else we got here. Tight end, still got Luke Lindenmeyer. Still got Heinrich Harburg or Carter Nelson. I'm kind of keeping my eye on that to see how that unfolds. I do think Harburg is a good blocker, despite what Jake Bakoven says. He's had a couple of good blocks. Come on, Jake.
He's had a couple good blocks and a couple of ones that weren't so good from week 1. But yeah, I mean, he's improving. I'm not completely against him. I'm for Heinrich Harburg.
I'm glad you rephrased that. I knew what you meant, but I'm glad you rephrased. All right. No changes in the wide receiver department. No changes in the quarterback department. But we got our first real good glimpse of TJ Lateef. And I think Husker fans are excited. You can see why. And it's interesting because last year we had a true freshman start at quarterback. Now we have a true freshman who's earned the backup job at quarterback. And I'll say it again. If Jalen Gromstad is your 3rd string quarterback, this is the best depth we've had in the quarterback room for a long time at Nebraska. So you have to at least feel better about that. But you get a chance to see what TJ Lateef can do, albeit versus Akron. All right. On Saturday, and he shows you. He goes 6-7, live arm, great ability to run. And he was here in the spring. He was actually here for bowl practices. If you remember, he was on campus in December. So those reps have clearly helped speed up his learning timeline. This is an exciting guy and a guy with a bright future going forward in the future. What say you on this, Jake?
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I mean, again, the quarterback position, so I kind of hold off on projecting 3 or 4 years down the line. But for now, he can help. I mean, and that's what you're kind of looking for, especially out of a true freshman. Like you said, Gromstead was kind of thought to be recruited back to that role to give them a solid backup, and now he's third. So you would think Latif has surpassed him, of course, and he looked good in his limited time that he had against Akron. So it's good. It's awesome news for now. And you feel like Nebraska has a fighting chance, certainly if Dylan goes down.
All right. You continue to move on. Running back, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 is just listed on the depth chart anyways. I think there is still a 2 through 4, even though there's no ors here. 1 is obviously Emmett Johnson, but listed at 2 is Mekhi Nelson. Listed at 3 is Isaiah Mosey. Listed at 4 is Quentin Ives. Has any one of these guys, and none of them played a ton of the first game, so I'll speak mostly to Akron, has any of these guys stood out to you a little bit more than the others, whether it be for good reasons or not so good reasons amongst Nelson, Mosey, and Ives, Jake?
I think Mosey, just from the receptions that he had. It wasn't really the runs, although he did have one run credit the text line for pointing that out the other day. They did get called back, but didn't have any runs on the stat sheet, but was able to contribute in the receiving category, and he was breaking tackles. I mean, that's kind of what Coach asked for after week 1 is we need some guys out there to be able to make people miss. And so, that kind of tenacity to try to fight forward, I think has been good. Obviously, when you look at, closer to body types, maybe Quentin Ives kind of bigger, although he's not listed all that much bigger than Isaiah Mosey, but taller. So, maybe there's a different route for him as kind of the bigger back to get on the field than those other guys. But I would say Mosey probably has stood out more than anybody.
Yeah, look at the size and how they're listed, and always take listings with a grain of salt. But Mekhi Nelson, 6 foot 195. Isaiah Mosey, 6 foot 210. Quentin Ives, 6'3", 215. 6'3", 3 inches is huge. A huge difference at running back. Only a 5-pound difference from him to Mosey. I think he weighs more than 215. I'm surprised it's not a 225.
Yeah.
I don't mean that's a bad thing. I mean that's a good thing. Like, he looks like a big, strong back. You look at that running back room, every single one of those guys should be back next year. And 3 of those 4 guys are underclassmen. 2 of them are freshmen. You think about how young this team is. You look at the top 2 at quarterback. They should both be back next year. Top 4 at running back should all be back next year. Of our 3 starting receivers, 2 of them should be back. And those 2 guys are underclassmen, Isaiah Hunter and Ja'Cory Barney. I mean, Luke Lindenmeyer is a junior. Talk about a young team. If everybody just boilerplate sticks to what's on paper, which we know is not going to happen, but just stick with me for a second here. 7 of these 11 guys will be back next year. And it's the offensive line that really has 3 of the 4 seniors. Again, the offensive line has, for a second year in a row, by far the most experienced position group of any group on offense for sure. Probably the entire team, although the back end, the secondary's got a lot of experience on defense. I mean, does that mean anything to you at this point? Are you just like, the transfer portal, half the team could leave tomorrow? Or do you feel a little bit better with the direction that college football is heading as far as, like, there are contracts being signed? There is only one portal window. Like, players are going to be more likely to stay with their current team than they have been the past 3 or 4 years. How do you feel about this?
Well, roster building has been difficult for a lot of teams to kind of keep up with, like you said, with the transfer portal. A lot of young players that I was pretty excited about, especially among that, defensive front last year, bolted. They were young, and you're thinking, okay, well, you got years left of Uman Mielen or James Williams or whoever. And so I can't get excited about a single player as much as maybe I used to, but I think as a whole, obviously more numbers, the better opportunity that more of those guys are going to stick around.
And just a reminder, we are the youngest team in the Big Ten. Like, that is a fact. All right. So as far as offensive depth chart updates, that's where we're at. We'll quickly go through the defense. All right. At defensive end is still Cam Lenhart or Williams Waniri. And I think Williams Waniri has stood out as much as any of the defensive linemen so far to me. All right. Cam's still a really good player. Kate Pierzak, the true freshman. Can't wait to watch. It's a young dude right there, 6'5", 265. You want to talk about being on the lighter side for a 3-3-5 defense, although we're in a lot of 4-man lines. I mean, he is, but man, he's got a bright future. All right, at nose guard. And I mentioned this earlier. Let's see here. We've only got 2 guys listed not over 300 pounds. We have 0 guys listed on the D-line over 300 pounds. Only 2 guys listed at 300 pounds. Excuse me. Elijah Judy, who starts for us. And the other one is a sophomore, Sua Lefotu, hope I said that right, are exactly at 300. So again, we're a little bit on the lighter side. I had thought that Gabe Moore was 300, but he's 290. But again, not much has changed on the depth chart here. Keona Davis played well in the first game, got banged up. He's a guy who's going to be good for us for a while, especially when healthy. Not a whole lot of new thoughts on this defensive line as far as the depth chart or anything on my end. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, nothing really to break down there, except for, I mean, I just want to see, like he is third on the depth chart. Now, you mentioned Cade Petrock. The first glimpse we saw of him, he got the safety. I mean, he looks, he's got, kind of a quick twitch there off the line. He looks to be Nebraska's next kind of younger prize prospect along that defensive line. And so, I mean, and it wasn't, that's the one thing. I mean, it's one thing to look at the depth chart. The other thing, he's just out there a lot. So for a third stringer, especially, who's out there a lot. So I wonder if that's matchups or the Akron thing, or just trying to get, more, get initial experience to him, or if he's going to be that big of a part of the rotation moving forward.
All right. You go to the jack and the two linebacker positions. Not a whole lot of change there. The only thing that's interesting to me is Marquez Watson-Trent or Vincent Shavers at the first linebacker spot. There's still an or between those two. I think a lot of people, including myself, just kind of expected there to be an and. Like it would be Vincent at one spot and Marcus at another spot. Right now, there's still an or. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting. Shavers didn't come in the healthiest, right? Did force that fumble, that really important fumble toward the end of the half, the first half against Cincinnati. I don't know. And I think Marquise Watson-Trent came in as a tackling machine, right? I think he has like 2 tackles so far, something around there. It's not much more than that. So expected a little bit more out of him, and obviously expecting a lot of Vincent Shavers. So we'll see as the year goes on. But yeah, at some point, Shavers, remember, doesn't have the black shirt. He does have the single-digit number. Coach Rhule says he's kind of a tone setter at practice. So maybe that's a health thing.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like you said, he got a single-digit number, does not have the black shirt, tone setter. Rhule says nothing but glowing things about him at press conferences. It's got to be health-related. All right. Look at Marcus Watson-Trent. I still remember, I mentioned this before, and I mentioned it at the time last spring. Dylan Raiola is like, the leaders on the team are, at this point anyways, and he listed 7 guys, and Marcus Watson-Trent was one of them. So I'm just curious to see how this all unfolds. All right, Rover, you got Deshaun Singleton. Cornerback, Andrew Marshall. Safety, Marquise Buford Jr. Nickel, Malcolm Hartsaw Jr. Cornerback, Zaire Wright. Nothing of note there. Long snapper, still Kevin Galick. Hey, I haven't said his name all season so far until just now. Kudos to Kevin, because the less your name is said, the better you're playing. Punt returner, Ja'Cory Barney, Andrew Marshall. I am excited to see what Andrew can do at some point, although I would not remove Ja'Cory Barney from the punt returner. Maybe try Andrew at kick returner. There's a lot of oars there at kick returner. Kenneth Williams, who's gotten the most this year, Isaiah Mosey, Mekhi Nelson. So Mosey and Nelson, they're trying to get the ball in their hands. I know Andrew Marshall's a dynamic returner as well. So for me, it's like there's a lot of oars there, which means there's a lot of mucky water as far as nobody's really stood out yet. All right, holder, punter, place kicker. The only thing of note there is there's no longer an or at place kicker between John Hull, Tristan Alvano. It's Kyle Cunanan, John Hull, Tristan Alvano. All right. I did think this was interesting as well. This is via Pavelka's fan uncle on Twitter, so take this for what it's worth. For anyone curious, Akron would be favored by 13 points over Houston Christian on a neutral field per ESPN SP+. Thoughts on that?
So just add 13 to 68. There we go. Yeah, 81 to nothing is what I want.
So if they don't win 81 to nothing, it's a failure. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Or you're not covering the spread. But I don't know.
Do we know if there's a spread?
I don't think there is a spread with FCS.
That's BS.
I can see if they've got one. A couple FCS teams beat FBS teams this past week.
Well, okay, so there's 2 reasons it's BS. Number 1, they are going to play the game. You're not guaranteed anything. Number 2, there are folks out there who would like to have a little bit of fun with that spread. What do you think the spread would be? Because we were 34.5 over Akron. If you add 13 to that, does that mean we're 47.5 favorite over Houston Christian? Or are we 81-point favorite over Houston Christian?
I think it would be into the 50s, maybe 52.5, somewhere around there.
Have you thought about your score prediction at all yet?
Not necessarily.
So does Nebraska at least have to win 68 to nothing this weekend, or is it a failure?
I wouldn't put it that way.
I'm joking, but like, I wonder what the expectation is now in all seriousness.
Yeah. I mean, I still think as I look at it now, if they'd known, if you could have told them you're going to beat Akron 68-0, I think they would have challenged somebody, had a little bit bigger of a challenge. They kind of got done what you needed to get done against Houston Christian, against Akron. So it's kind of just like a rinse and repeat type of week, you hope.
Yeah.
But I mean, how can everything go exactly right like it did the previous week? 2 straight shutouts. It's a lot to ask, but again, it is Houston Christian.
All right, we'll see. Oh, I'm sitting at the Dana Holgorsen, Butler as well. I don't know if we get to Butler today, and a few other press conference notes. Let's take a break. Then we will talk about some of the updates from Coach Holgorsen and see who else we can get to today. Is there anything from the text line real quick?
Let's see. T.I. says with NIL, it's hard to count on guys coming back. Eric says Bach is the Harburg hater. Not true.
Bad news, Bach. The Harburg hater.
And Unmasked Texter says enough talk of the Alabama transfer offensive lineman. He goes on to say discouraging words.
He won't even say his name. Why can't we talk about him? Has he become the new Scott Frost? Like you're not allowed to talk about certain guys? We were going through the depth chart. He's third on the depth chart. This is noteworthy. All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer.
Mmm.
Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Starter Heyman Jewelers is celebrating 120 years as Lincoln's top choice for fine jewelry. Join us for our anniversary sale going on now through September 14th. Enjoy an exclusive 20 to 75% savings on dazzling diamond jewelry, exquisite rings, and luxury watches. This once-a-year event is our way of saying thank you to a community that has supported us over a century. Come enjoy our lowest prices of the year and celebrate this milestone with us now through September 14th at Starter Heyman Jewelers.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential. Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that
first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Again, hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by Suizo Construction, where safety is not just a policy, it's a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at Suizo.com. 40 years strong in business. Suizo Construction. Again, that's Suizo.com. SCHWISOW.com. All right. Dana Holgorsen says TJ Lateef did an excellent job. Real quick, I feel like his popularity has grown like exponentially in the past, what is it today? Tuesday, 72 hours. Are you surprised by how much people have seemed to like get genuinely excited, about TJ Lateef?
Maybe I don't want to say surprised, but I mean, we all know this. I mean, the most popular guy on campus a lot of times is the backup quarterback. Yeah. Now, Dylan Rhule, obviously, that situation maybe a little bit differently because he is definitely the most popular guy on campus, but it is setting up to, for a few fans to start to maybe turn the other way if Dylan has a bad play or two, because that's the nature of football fans. They feel like there always can be something better on the bench. But in any case, I mean, TJ's earned it. I mean, he went out there and showed what he can do. In kind of a limited sample size, and we'll see moving forward. Again, Nebraska clearly, to me, had the advantage just across the board everywhere against Akron. How does he look if forced into a game against Michigan, where you're not going to have the matchup advantage every time? So there's still some things to be out there to be seen, but for a true freshman to show off like that and be able to lead a scoring drive or two was an impressive start.
I think it's exciting for two reasons. Number one, you're like what I mentioned earlier. I feel like we might have some quarterback depth. Now, if he comes in, obviously the ceiling is high with him. He's obviously more of an inexperienced guy if he needed to take some serious snaps versus Michigan or whoever else. So that's going to show through as well. But you're like, man, we got three quarterbacks that we can trust pretty good this year. It's been a while since we can say that. Number two, he's young. So you know he's just going to get better. And the future is bright. And your starting quarterback doesn't stay forever. So at some point, somebody else has to be the starting quarterback. And it's like, well, if it's that guy, you got to feel pretty good about it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Today's practice was better than last week's. All right, the bar's been set. It's 81-0 or bust. No, I'm just kidding. It says Luke Lindenmeyer is a security blanket for Dylan. Feels our ability to catch and run, secure the ball, take off and run afterwards, which is where you're going to get more explosive plays, by the way, has improved. Says Quinn Clark celebrating, honoring his father was pretty cool. Again, he kind of did the 3-2 in the end zone. His dad's number, Ken Clark, had over 3,000 yard rushing when he played here for Nebraska years in the past. That is very cool to see legacy players playing, legacy players honoring their dad in this case, or their family members, or just players or the Husker history of the past. That's always cool to see. Says he knew of TJ Lateef before he got to Nebraska. Was he recruiting TJ in some way, shape, or form at one point in high school? Are you aware of that at all?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, but he knew him. Yeah. All right, he knew of him. Says TJ is on track on being a really good player. Your reaction to any of the aforementioned items above, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just cool. Again, the legacy connection. Obviously, Rhule, a legacy player, to see that kind of come through and to have that special moment's really cool. And you kind of go through these waves at times within the Husker program where there are a few players here, and then maybe you kind of go away from it. I think it's been a nice blend. Obviously, you should have a recruiting advantage in trying to land some of those kids. Obviously, they have to meet a certain standard to get in, but it definitely is cool to see some recognizable names out there.
When you hear things like today's practice was better than last week's, feels our ability to catch and run has improved. It sounds like, and Holgorsen's not a guy who's just going to say things to be kind. He's one of the more honest people in front of a microphone you're going to find. So I think that's kind of his way of saying we're continuing to get better. And that's all you can really ask to do when you're playing teams like Akron and Houston Christian. Like when people are like, oh, it was Akron. Well, yeah, it was Akron. Akron's not very good. Maybe one of the three worst teams in all of FBS. And the thing I take away is we clearly got better. Despite the opponent, we clearly improved in certain areas from our own aspect, from things that we did. And ultimately, we'll find out more in 2 weeks. Like, we will find out a lot more in 2 weeks. But for now, this is all you can do. This is all you can gauge. All right. Rocco Spindler at the podium, more on the offense. Says time has flown by fast since he got here. The guys are great and have to keep building off their work. Feels they took a big step last week as 5 playing as 1. I think part of that is you now have a clear-cut 5. These are your 5 starters. There's no more ors anywhere on the offensive line depth chart. And everybody that had earned the right to have a chance to earn the right for more playing time in a game has gotten those opportunities in the first 2 games. At some point, you got to be definitive. These are the 5. This is our second string. This is our third string, and they have done that. Says Dylan is incredible, and he's a dude who knows ball. All right. Says Cade Piersack is great. He was so good in practice, he didn't think he was a freshman. So he's a guy who's only going to get better. His biggest tool right now is his explosiveness off the ball. That first 2 steps. I'm not saying he's DeMarcus Ware, but I just remember DeMarcus Ware. There was a Thanksgiving Day game. I think it might have been my rookie year, so 07. He was going against Walter Jones. You know who Walter Jones is? Left tackle for the Seahawks, like Hall of Famer, multi-time All-Pro. Just ate his lunch. It was insane. He had like 3-4 sacks against him, and I couldn't believe it. Because Walter Jones is Seahawk. We face him twice a year. I'm well aware of who he is and how good he is with the Rams in our division. It was his first step. There was 2 sacks that he had before Walter ever moved on the snap of the ball. He was in the backfield. Walter hadn't moved. And again, I'm not saying Cade is DeMarcus Ware. What I'm saying is his biggest strength is his first couple of steps. Now, if you watch him, you got to get better at hand placement. You got to get better with the hand moves, club rips, swim, all that good stuff, timing, being able to feel the offensive lineman's body weight, where they're at, use that against him, push, pull. He's a young guy. He'll get a feel for it as he goes along. Right now, his strength is one of the most important things a pass rusher or a defensive lineman can have, and that's aiding him greatly. He's only going to get better and better in some of those things that I did mention. It's going to be fun to watch. It says Justin Evans is doing great and is one of his best friends as well. All right, thoughts on the offensive line play so far this year, week 1 to 2, what you want to see in week 3 there, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, more difficult opponent. I think they had a harder time with Cincinnati. Didn't have much of a struggle here this past week, and you expect more of the same here. Like you said, you're going to get those opportunities, and people are going to rotate in and out. And so, even if you are number 2, number 3 on the depth chart, obviously, you still want to fight for your opportunity. You want to show that you can move up, and maybe there is still opportunity throughout that. I agree with you for the most part. You want to get locked in at this point, get the continuity rolling. But again, I mean, Nebraska's offensive line needs to get back to a point. It's weird to say this, but back to a point where sometimes it's exposed in bigger games. Because that means the rest of the games they're kind of taking. They're at that level. They're at an opportunity where they're not getting exposed in 9 or 10 of your games. Now, I'd prefer them not being exposed at all, back to the pipeline days and all that. Mm-hmm. And maybe that can happen too, but they need to build on what they've done so far. And going back to that practice quote, I mean, I think coming off of week 1, you're kind of thinking we got the win. They're all excited, but things could have maybe went a little bit better. After that game, you're thinking, we're rolling here. And so, that's good to hear that they, even in that offensive line, I'm sure just feel, okay, we feel like we've taken a huge step from not just week 1, but certainly last season.
All right. We got notes on Butler. Elijah Judy was at the podium as well. Before we go to break, because we'll do that after break, someone texted me this. I'm just going to say it and we can go to break. Okay, Jake, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Frats will not be happy until we score 69 points. Go to break, Jake.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today. There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria, tacos, and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms early this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day. The high around 83. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, below around 62. Then tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds, an afternoon high near 85. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state, from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk a little defense, shall we? John Butler says the guys are playing really well together. Says we have multiple guys who can play multiple positions, which we kind of anticipated and expected, and I was very curious to see how they were going to do it coming into the season. They're moving guys all over the place, all sorts of different packages. Now, we'll see what it really looks like in 2 weeks, because I guarantee they ain't showing everything. But so far, it's been interesting to watch. Wasn't trying to get a shutout. That's not what I heard in Rhule's halftime speech. Wasn't trying to get a shutout. Thoughts? I'm just going to stop. I mean, that's the middle of the sentence, but what's your thoughts there, Jake?
I mean, I would need more context, because that is a weird starting point, because isn't that, I mean, wouldn't that be the goal pretty much any time, especially if you're close to getting a shutout?
Okay, more context coming.
All right.
I paused because context is key, and I just wanted to have fun with the statement for a second. Wasn't trying to get the shutout, comma, but to play to our standard, which is what Rhule talked about in the halftime speech as well. Says we still have a ways to go. Yeah, playing like that consistently versus really good teams is something we haven't seen yet, because we haven't seen consistent good teams on the schedule just yet. I will say, the halftime speech, Rhule talked about the standard and the standard he expects. He did also mention the shutout. And I'm not going to lie to you, I wanted the shutout before the game. I didn't predict it, because it's really hard to shut somebody out. Like, they could have just simply made the field goal before half. You know, that's not something we can really control. Now, we blocked the other one, Riley Van Poppel did in the second half. And they had just been shut out. So for a team to get shut out 2 weeks in a row, I didn't expect that. But my Lord, did I want it. There's just something being a defensive guy. It's like the ultimate insult to the opposing offense. Like, you couldn't even get lucky and score. Your defense didn't even score for you. No safety, no pick six, no weird bounce of the ball. You get the ball to 15, go backwards, 4th and 20, kick a 42-yard field goal. None of that. Something as a defensive guy, just take a little pride in that. The first shutout I was ever involved in was a non-conference game versus Troy. And I remember at halftime, Pelini was the D coordinator. Solch was head coach. He went off. He wanted that. It was similar to Rhule's speech, but I think more Pelini language. He wanted that shutout so bad. And then when we got it, he was pretty excited about it. All right. Ooh, here we go. Says the run defense is a work in progress. So, week 1, Akron, 89 yards of rushing versus Wyoming. They had 113 yards of rushing versus us. They did run the ball for more attempts versus us, but it's also Nebraska, Wyoming. Their starting running back still had 5 yards to carry. Now, there was a little bit of leakiness in the second half. Now, that's not entirely on the starters. Other guys were in the game at that point. But it says the run defense is a work in progress. Your thoughts on that real quick? I have a couple, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, again, it's kind of a lot. It's kind of straightforward kind of talk from your coaches. That's not what I would ideally want to hear from a coach, you know, kind of going into your third game. But it is, I mean, it's kind of evident that's kind of where they're at. So, obviously, the secondary is the strength of the team. The passing defense seems to be in a spot where you wouldn't call it a work in progress. But, you know, to be honest, everything still is, right? We don't know what we don't know, and we don't, you know, Nebraska hasn't faced their best opponents that they will see this season to date. So, you know, everything's a bit of a work in progress. That probably can be stated. But if it did, I think it made at least strides from one game to the next.
I mean, you're going into the week 3 of the season. It's obviously still a work in progress. That's fair to say. All right. Said Kate Pierzak has great DNA when it comes to being a football player. In other words, things just tend to come naturally to some people. Some people can be talented, but it doesn't always come naturally to them. Some people may not be as talented physically, but they're just ball players. Things tend to come naturally to them. Then you get the rare guy who's talented. Things come naturally. They work hard, and things come together. I don't know if that'll be Cade as an overall whole, but I think that's what Butler is saying is things tend to come naturally to him. He's obviously got some physical tools as well. Says they should have played Cade more against Cincinnati. Now, Butler has been happy with how hard Deshaun McCullough has played. Says Deshaun is smart, prepared, executes well. You look at him, I mean, he's an NFL player. Like, when I saw him last spring, I'd never met him, only seen his picture. The instant I saw him, I'm like, that's Deshaun McCullough. I know exactly who that is. Like, him and Waneri just stand out. All right, wants to run an NFL defense because we are an NFL program. Thoughts on that?
Interesting. I can't get Bill Belichick's 33rd NFL team out of my
Why you gotta bring
North Carolina.
that up? Why you gotta bring that up?
Well, it's not always the best. Like I get it.
33rd NFL team. I like that.
And they've got NFL experience, obviously, from Coach Rhule to Coach Butler. So I get why you say that. That's the goal for everybody. Just with the Callahan. Sometimes it just doesn't leave the best taste in your mouth. But
I like how you lingered, looked at me because I played for Callahan a bit.
For you,
go ahead,
guys, Callahan over there, yeah.
Hey, went off the rails in 07. My last year was 06. Go ahead.
That's right.
Look it up. It's the truth. Sorry. Go ahead. You got any other final thoughts?
No.
You lingered when you looked at me and said Callahan. I'm like, all right. Anything else?
No, but I mean, altogether, that's the goal for a lot of these guys. They'll be pretty prepared. Obviously, at the next level, if they've been coached or taught to NFL standards.
So, I don't know why I remember Rhule's press conferences going all the way back to December so well. There was a press conference in December. Maybe it was January. White had just left a couple of weeks earlier. Butler had just been named the DC. So probably January by this point, maybe mid-January. And he talked about what he wanted to do different coverage-wise and running NFL coverages and a lot of the different things they wanted to do. I'm like, that's coming directly from Butler, who was the secondaries coach. Probably didn't get to run what he wanted to run entirely last year. And now he's the D coordinator, and this is what they want to do, and Rhule's on board, and it's a lot more NFL-style stuff. I think that's how Butler is approaching this. And I think that's what he means by that. Says, Houston Christian runs the ball well, very consistent. All right? What's your goal for our run defense? Give me two numbers, and then we'll get out of here. Total run yards allowed. I don't care if they run the ball 20 times or 60 times. Total run yards allowed and yards per carry average allowed. What's your goal?
For Houston Christian.
For us against Houston Christian's offense.
Yeah. I was just making sure you're not talking about the season. Because I think generally you'd want to, I think a pretty baseline goal is to hold opponents under 100 yards rushing. I think you're in a pretty good spot there. Being that it is Houston Christian and you need to improve on this, maybe move that down to 80 and keep them under, I think 4 yards of carries is generally a pretty good goal for a defense, maybe 3.6, somewhere around there.
Not far off. I was going to say under 89 because at Akron, what they ran against Wyoming still sticks in my craw. They did more against us. So under 89 versus Houston Christian. Yards per carry, the number that pops in my head is I want to see under 3. That's a lofty number. How about under 3.3? I don't know why. It's 3 point something, and then it lingered out there in the air, and I had to come up with a number. I want under 3. Under 3 per carry. And I know that's daunting, but if we got a high bar, if 33-0 at halftime ain't what we're looking for, then under 3 per carry. That's my goal for the team. All right, Elijah Judy did take the stage briefly, talked about Cade. All right, says seeing Cade go out and make plays has been one of the best parts of his season. Cade is going to be a factor after Elijah Judy leaves. Judy is a senior this season. Says Rhule's halftime speech was nothing new to them. It's the standard. Wants to play faster and be more physical. Love all of that. Don't have a whole lot to add to it. The only thing I would say, let's continue to see it on the field and improve each and every week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a glorious day. I'll see you fine folks on Thursday. Go Big Red. And always remember to throw the bones.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive